Let's be honest, we all have big dreams and ambitions, but often it feels like there is something standing in our way. Maybe ITS self-doubt, lack of focus, or the constant barrage of distractions that life throws at us. But what if I told you that the biggest battle you face ISNTWHATS happening around you, but inside your mind? Today, WERE diving deep into unlocking the true potential of your mind, inspired by the ancient wisdom of Stoicism, blended with modern psychological insights. WERE not just talking theories here. I am here to guide you through practical steps that can transform not only how you think, but how you live your life. So if you find value in what WERE exploring today, I'd really appreciate that simple free favor. Hit that subscribe button. It helps us a lot more than you might think. And DONT, skip any part of the video. Stick with me till the end because each step builds on the last, and you WONT want to miss the transformation that happens when you apply these age-old strategies to your modern life. Let's embark on this journey together and see just how far our minds can take us when we break free from our self-imposed limits. Let's get started. You know, there was a time in my life when I felt completely stuck. Every day felt like I was walking through mud, my dreams hovering just out of reach, always slipping through my fingers like sand. I was filled with doubt, constantly questioning whether I had what it took to achieve my goals, to make my mark. ITS, a feeling many of us know all too well, right? That gnawing fear of not being good enough, of not reaching the heights we know we can achieve. Then I stumbled upon the concept of neuroplasticity. It sounds like a fancy term, but ITS actually something quite miraculous. This idea that our brains can change, adapt, and evolve throughout our lives, not just when we're kids, but even as adults. Every new experience, every piece of knowledge acquired, reshapes our brain. ITS empowering, ISNT it. To think that every challenge you take on, every new skill you learn, is actually rewiring your brain, expanding your potential. Now let's take a leaf from the Stoics, particularly from someone like Marcus Aurelius. He once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He was on to something. WASNT. Every moment of learning, every push beyond our comfort zones strengthens our mind, just as lifting weight strengthens our muscles. We have the power to mold our brains, to enhance our consciousness through our thoughts and actions. What a powerful realization. Think about it. When was the last time you tried something new, something challenging? It might have been uncomfortable, even scary, but in that moment, you were doing more than just stepping out of your comfort zone. You were training your brain to handle bigger tasks. So why not embrace this incredible ability? Why not challenge ourselves to think bigger, push harder, and expand beyond the boundaries we've set for ourselves? Every time we do, WERE not just getting closer to our dreams, WERE becoming stronger, more resilient versions of ourselves. ITS time we all realize that our potential is not fixed. With every new experience, every hurdle we overcome, we grow a little more, our brains adapt, and our capabilities expand. Let me tell you about the time I realized how much my own beliefs were chaining me down. I was sitting at my desk, staring at a project I believed was beyond my skills. Every time I tried to start, a voice in my head whispered, "You can't do this. You're not smart enough." It was suffocating, feeling trapped by my own thoughts. Can you relate to that feeling? That nagging doubt that creeps in and makes a home in your thoughts? One night I was reading about the Stoics, and I came across a powerful idea from Epictetus. He said, ITS, not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. It struck a chord. I asked myself, what if I reacted differently to my self-doubt? What if I chose not to believe that voice telling me, ICANT? It was a turning point. So I started to challenge those limiting beliefs. Every time that old whisper of ICANT crept in, I pushed back with why not. It WASNT easy. At times, it felt like I was in a boxing match with my own mind. But HERES, the thing, every challenge to those beliefs was a step towards freedom. And with each step, the work got a bit easier, the project a bit less intimidating. The concept of a growth mindset, popularized by psychologist Carol D. Dweck, really helped me here. ITS all about believing that our abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. This belief creates a love for learning and a resilience that is essential for great accomplishment. That's what the Stoics practiced every day, turning every obstacle into an opportunity to improve. Now let me ask you, what limiting beliefs are holding you back? Think about that project you think you can't handle, or that dream you believe is too big for you. What if you challenge those beliefs? What if you embrace the possibility that you could grow, that you could be more than you are now? Remember, every belief is a choice, and every choice can be changed. Choose growth, choose to believe in your potential, and watch as new doors open, and what once seemed impossible begins to unfold before your eyes. Have you ever sat down to work buzzing with energy, only to find that hours later YOUVE barely scratched the surface of what you intended to do? I've been there more times than I care to admit. My mind used to wander aimlessly, jumping from thought to thought like a wild monkey. It was frustrating feeling so scattered, especially when I had important goals that needed my full attention. I remember one evening I was reading Seneca, and he talked about the shortness of life and how we must not waste it on mindless pursuits. It hit me hard. Here I was allowing my precious time to slip through my fingers because I couldn't focus. That's when I decided to take control of my mind, not just to improve my productivity, but to honor the time I have. So I started experimenting with different techniques to enhance my focus and memory. I tried everything from meditation to brain games and tweaking my diet. Slowly but surely, I started noticing changes. It was like my brain was a lens that had finally been adjusted to the right focus. But HERES, the critical part, it WASNT, just about trying to control my wandering mind. It was about understanding and working with it. Like the Stoics, I learned the value of self-awareness in mastering one's own mind. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." So I nurtured my thoughts, fed them with positive, focused energy, and gradually the changes began to stick. Let me ask you, what if you could harness the full potential of your mind? Imagine the clarity and the achievements that could come from such focus. ITS, not just a pipe dream. It starts with believing that you can improve and taking small, deliberate actions every day. Whether ITS setting aside 10 minutes for meditation or challenging yourself with a new learning task each day. Every little effort counts. Think about what you feed your mind to. Is it information that enriches, or is it merely cluttering your thoughts? Remember, your cognitive abilities aren't set in stone. THERERE, more like muscles, and every challenge is an opportunity to strengthen them. Embrace this journey and trust that with each step, YOURE not only boosting your focus and memory, but also paving the way for greater success. There was a time in my life when I thought being emotionally strong meant keeping a stiff upper lip through everything. I pushed down my feelings, thinking this was the path to personal and professional success. But let me tell you, Ignoring your emotions doesn't make them go away. It just makes them wait until you are least prepared to handle them. I remember a particularly tough day when everything seemed to go wrong. I tried to shove my frustration and anger aside, but by the end of the day, I snapped over something trivial. It was a wake-up call. I realized then that understanding and managing my emotions wasn't a weakness. It was a necessity. Stoicism, which many misunderstand as emotionless, actually offers invaluable guidance here. It teaches us not to suppress our emotions, but to understand and channel them productively. Seneca, a renowned Stoic, once wrote about the importance of governing our passions and not becoming slaves to our emotions. From him, I learned that emotional intelligence, ISNT, about control in the sense of suppression, ITS, about alignment and understanding, ITS, about recognizing our emotions as signals, not directives. How often do we stop to ask why we feel a certain way? Anger, joy, jealousy, excitement, each of these carries a message about our state of mind, our environment, and our needs. If we listen carefully and reflectively, we can manage not just our reactions, but also navigate our relationships and decisions better. Think about the last time you felt a strong emotion at work or home. Instead of reacting immediately, what if you had paused and asked yourself, WHTS really driving this feeling? This kind of questioning can transform our interactions and our understanding of ourselves. It can lead to deeper connections with others and more satisfying solutions to our challenges. Stoicism doesn't ask us to deny our feelings, but to reflect on them with the clarity of a philosopher. Marcus Aurelius himself, faced with the immense pressures of leading an empire, often wrote about observing his emotions without becoming entangled in them. This practice, which aligns closely with modern approaches to emotional intelligence, empowers us to choose how we respond to our feelings rather than being unconsciously led by them. So let's challenge ourselves to view our emotions through a Stoic lens, not as obstacles, but as opportunities to learn and grow. LETS. Cultivate the habit of pausing, reflecting, and choosing a response that aligns with our values and goals. By mastering our emotions, not just becoming better leaders, friends, or family members, becoming better, more fulfilled humans. Life throws curveballs, and sometimes it feels like constantly dodging them. I once faced a series of setbacks that felt like a relentless storm. Just when I thought I could catch my breath, another wave would crash down. It was during these tumultuous times that I learned the true meaning of resilience, not just bouncing back, but bouncing forward. The ancient Stoics were no strangers to adversity. They didn't just endure hardships, they embraced them as a natural part of life, a concept that transformed my own approach to challenge. Seneca famously said, "Fire tests gold, suffering tests brave men." This idea hit home for me. It wasn't about avoiding the pain or stress, but about growing through it, becoming stronger and more resilient in the process. But how do we develop this resilience? It starts with our mindset. Viewing stress and obstacles as opportunities for growth is a game changer. Every challenge is a lesson in disguise. If you are willing to look for it, remember the time when you thought you wouldn't make it through, but you did. You are here now stronger because of it. Resilience. Practical steps also matter. Simple techniques like breathwork and mindfulness can ground us in moments of high stress. During a particularly stressful day, I took a moment just to breathe deeply, focusing solely on the air moving in and out. It was a brief pause, a quick reset, yet it brought clarity and calmness that helped me tackle the issue head-on. And then there's the art of letting go. Stoicism teaches the value of focusing only on wh's within our control. We waste so much energy stressing over outcomes that are often out of our hands. Learning to distinguish between what we can change and what we must accept is crucial in building emotional and mental strength. So next time you find yourself in the middle of a storm, pause, breathe, reflect on what you can control, and let go of what you cannot. Embrace the challenge, for it is an opportunity to forge your resilience. With each challenge overcome, you are not just surviving, you are thriving, preparing yourself for whatever comes next. Did you know that what you eat and how much you sleep can literally reshape your brain? There was a time when I didn't pay much attention to this. I used to fuel my long days with coffee and whatever was handy, often skipping meals or choosing fast food for the sake of convenience. Sleep was secondary, something I would catch up on over the weekend. But then I hit a wall. My productivity plummeted, my creativity dried up, and I couldn't focus. I felt mentally sluggish, and emotionally I was a wreck. It was a wake-up call, quite literally. I started delving into how nutrition and sleep affect brain function, and what I found was eye-opening. Our brains are like high-performance vehicles. They need the right fuel to run efficiently and effectively. Omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and whole foods aren't just good for the body. They are critical for cognitive function, helping to enhance memory, speed up reaction times, and improve mood. Drawing from Stoic philosophy, I realized how much Marcus Aurelius emphasized self-discipline and control, which includes mastery over what we consume and how we rest. He understood that the body and the mind are intrinsically linked, and to neglect one is to neglect both. With this in mind, I revamped my diet to include brain-boosting foods like berries, nuts, fish, and plenty of greens, and I set a strict bedtime schedule to ensure I got the rest I need. But let me ask you, have you ever considered how what you eat affects how you think, or noticed how a poor NIGHTS sleep can derail your day? ITS not just about feeling good physically, ITS about OPTIMIZING, our brain's potential. When we give our brains the right nutrients and enough rest, we can enhance our cognitive abilities, improve our decision-making, and maintain our mental health. Now I challenge you to think about your own habits. How might your diet and sleep be influencing your mental clarity and overall brain health? Implementing small changes can have profound effects. Start simple. Swap out that mid-afternoon snack for something rich in antioxidants, or set a nightly routine that helps you wind down and get more quality sleep. Have you ever pictured yourself achieving your greatest dreams, feeling the exhilaration of crossing the finish line, or the pride of nailing that dream job interview? This isn't just daydreaming, ITS, a tool for success. Let me share how visualization and affirmations changed not just my outlook but my outcomes. There was a phase in my life where I felt consistently beaten down by failures. No matter how hard I tried, things didn't seem to go my way. Then I stumbled upon the power of visualization and affirmations. At first, it felt a bit foolish sitting there, eyes closed, picturing myself succeeding. But as I practiced, something shifted. I began to feel more confident, more in control of my destiny. It was as if I was training my brain to expect success, not fear failure. The Stoics, too, understood the power of the mind. They believed in premeditating on future challenge to mentally prepare for any outcome. Marcus Aurelius wrote about imagining every possible setback, not to worry himself sick, but to face life prepared. In a way, my visualization was similar. It prepared me to seize my success when the opportunity came, because I had already lived it in my mind. And then there are affirmations. These positive, powerful statements can redefine our reality. I started my days by affirming my capabilities. I am capable, competent, and ready to face whatever comes. It might sound simple, but these words became my armor against the arrows of doubt and negativity. Now, why am I sharing this with you? Because I believe that if you start visualizing your success and affirming your strengths, you can transform the energy you bring into any room. Whether you are applying for a job, starting a new project, or even entering a tough negotiation, these tools can prepare your subconscious for success, making it a part of who you are, not just what you do. So I challenge you to harness the power of your own mind. Each morning, take a moment to visualize one goal as if you've already achieved it. Feel it deeply, then anchor that vision with a strong positive affirmation about your ability to make it happen. Repeat this daily. ITS not magic, ITS mindset. And as you reshape your mindset, you'll start to see the world not just as it is, but as it could be, with you at your best at the center of it. Remember, in the words of Seneca, life is what our thoughts make it. Let's make it phenomenal. Ever felt like you're just churning out the same ideas, stuck in a creative rut that you can't seem to escape? I've been there more times than I'd like to admit. ITS, like standing on the edge of a cliff, seeing where you need to go, but not finding the path to get there. But creativity, ISNT, just a spontaneous burst of inspiration. ITS, a skill that can be cultivated, a muscle that can be strengthened. I remember one particularly dry spell. My ideas felt stale, and nothing seemed to spark that creative flair. It was then I turned to the Stoics for guidance, particularly to the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, who believed in the power of the mind to transform. He wrote about how our perceptions could shape our realities, and inspired by this, I began to challenge my routine, to break the mental patterns that were keeping me boxed in. One strategy that truly transformed my approach was setting aside dedicated time each day just to think, to let my mind wander without limits. I started taking walks without my phone, just a notepad in my pocket. These walks became my most fruitful periods, times when ideas would seemingly come from nowhere. It was during these moments of quiet that my mind began to draw connections it never had before, finding new solutions to old problems. I also embraced the Stoic practice of viewing obstacles as opportunities. Each challenge in a project became a chance to innovate rather than a setback. This mindset shift didn't just help me overcome hurdles, it changed the way I approached my work from the ground up. Suddenly, I was more willing to take risks, to experiment with ideas I would have previously dismissed. Now, let's talk about you. Think about when you last faced a creative block. Instead of letting frustration take over, what if you viewed that block as a sign that it's time to shift your approach, change your scenery, engage in a new activity, or collaborate with someone who challenges your thought process? Remember, creativity thrives on fresh input and perspectives. And HERES, a little secret, the more you exercise your creative muscles, the stronger they become. Start small. Today, challenge yourself to think of 3 new USS for an everyday object in your home, or 3 new topics you've never explored before in your work. ITS, not just about finding immediate solutions. ITS about developing a mindset that eagerly looks for innovation. Have you ever faced a challenge so daunting that it seemed easier to just give up rather than push through? I have, more times than I care to count. But through those tough moments, I discovered an invaluable truth. Our true strength, ISNT, shown by how we triumph, but how we transform challenges into opportunities for growth. This realization didn't come easily. It was born from many failures and setbacks, each one a lesson in disguise. Let's talk about mental flexibility for a moment. This ISNT, just about bending without breaking. ITS, about learning to dance in the rain while the storm rages, finding new RH rhythms and steps amid the chaos. I learned this the hard way during a particularly tough year, when everything that could go wrong did. Just when I thought I couldn't handle more, life proved me wrong. But it was during this storm that I turned to the wisdom of the Stoics, and I found a surprising source of strength. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, once said, "ITS, not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." These words became my mantra. I started to see each setback not as a roadblock, but as a stepping stone, each one a chance to build a stronger, more resilient version of myself. This shift in perspective was transformative. It didn't make the problems disappear, but it changed how I approached them. Instead of feeling defeated, I felt energized, motivated to find solutions and adapt in ways I hadn't before. Now think about your own life. When was the last time you were faced with a situation that felt insurmountable? How did you react? Imagine if, instead of resisting change, you embraced it, using it as a catalyst to develop your mental agility. By practicing this approach, you can build not just resilience, but a kind of proactive strength that anticipates and adapts to challenges before they even arise. Building this kind of strength and flexibility requires intentional practice. ITS, like training for a marathon. WOULDNT, run 26 miles right off the bat. YOUD, start small, gradually increasing your stamina over time. Similarly, you can start building mental strength by challenging yourself daily in small ways. Take a different route to work, try a new recipe, or tackle a problem from a different angle. Each new experience builds your mental repertoire, just as each run builds endurance. Have you ever reached a moment in your life where you felt you had achieved enough, learned enough, and could finally rest on your laurels? I found myself at such a crossroads after reaching what I thought was the peak of my career. But rather than feeling fulfilled, I felt a surprising emptiness, a sense that there was more out there, just beyond my grasp. That's when I stumbled upon a powerful Stoic principle, the commitment to lifelong learning and constant self-improvement. Seneca, one of the most revered Stoic philosophers, once wrote, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." These words resonated with me deeply, sparking a realization that learning, ISNT, a destination, ITS, a journey without end. Each skill mastered, each book read, and each new person met can offer insights that not only enhance our knowledge, but also deepen our understanding of the world and our place within it. This journey of continuous learning, ISNT, just about accumulating knowledge, ITS, about striving for peak performance in all areas of life, ITS, about pushing yourself to excel beyond conventional limits and transforming everyday challenges into opportunities for growth. This pursuit has taught me that peak performance is not a static achievement, but a dynamic process of pushing the boundaries of what I thought was possible. Now let's pause for a moment. Think about your own life. Are there areas where you could push a little harder, reach a little further, or learn something new? The beauty of this journey is that ITS uniquely yours. It might mean taking a course that scares you, stepping into a new role that tests your abilities, or simply picking up a new hobby that challenges your way of thinking. The Stoics emphasize the value of self-discipline and rigorous self-examination as tools for personal growth. They believed that the more we challenge ourselves, the more we can grow in wisdom and character. By adopting this mindset, we not only improve ourselves, but also increase our capacity to contribute positively to the world around us. So I challenge you to make a commitment today, not to a specific goal or a finite achievement, but to the process of lifelong learning. Embrace the idea that every day is an opportunity to learn something new, to refine your skills, and to enhance your understanding. Whether ITS through reading, dialogue, or hands-on experience, let each day add a layer to your foundation of knowledge and performance. Remember, in this ever-evolving world, the only true constant is change. By committing to lifelong learning and seeking peak performance, YOURE not just adapting to change, YOUR anticipating it, embracing it, and using it as a tool for personal and professional success. As Marcus Aurelius once said, the obstacle is the way. Let each challenge be a stepping stone, not just toward achieving your goals, but toward becoming the very best version of yourself. Thank you for joining me today on this journey at Live Virtue Stoic. Remember, the path to wisdom and strength is paved with constant learning and relentless self-improvement. Keep pushing, keep growing, and let's continue to unlock our true potential together. DONT. Forget to watch one of the suggested videos on your screen to dive deeper into the world of Stoicism and personal growth. Your engagement truly makes this community thrive. Thank you for being a part of it. Until next time, stay curious and stay stoic.